Chattanooga's zoning code was last fully revised in 1964, a time when gas was selling for less than 50 cents a gallon, and America's love affair with the automobile was in full swing. The suburbs were the place to be, and zoning regulations reflected the mood of the time. Homes required deep setbacks, so residents could have big lawns to tend. Commercial development required lots of parking, because everyone would be arriving in a car. And land uses got segregated, because no one wanted a manufacturing plant humming across the street from the family home. Certain areas were set aside for commercial activity, while others were zoned for office or residential or industrial. There was no intermingling of buildings, because their uses were perceived to be independent and exclusive of one another. Meanwhile, cities were in decline, so no one cared that the suburban zoning codes were applied uniformly to urban areas too. But since precious little urban development was happening in the nation's downtowns, no one realized just how incongruous the code had become. 40 years later, we have come to understand the pernicious effects of urban sprawl, and we are developing a new love affair with the idea of living, working, and playing in or near downtown. The mood has changed, but the code has not. We still impose suburban expectations on urban designs, effectively penalizing the developer who wants to build urban mixed use. As a result, urban developers are encountering time-consuming, costly hurdles as they try to navigate the gauntlet of variances that will allow them to build urban structures governed by a suburban zoning code. Similarly, we have imposed suburban biases on urban transportation networks, effectively discouraging the efficiency of mass transportation and non-automotive alternatives in favor of car-friendly policies. It is time to create urban guidelines to govern urban development by moving toward integrated development codes that take into account more than the building height and use. They also weigh the architectural, landscape, transportation, streetscape, and ecological standards of the district into which the building must fit. They enable the mix of uses that create urban neighborhoods and encourage an ethic of living, working, and playing, all within the bounds of downtown.